give you some tips and tricks on what you can try and things you can implement before your first therapy session so that you can feel a little bit more relaxed and ready to take on the session. How do you prepare for your first therapy session? Therapy can definitely be very overwhelming, anxiety-inducing, and nerve-wracking, even though you're going to try and solve some of these issues and feelings in your life. So, how do you prepare for your first therapy session? So first, because I have a lot of anxiety, girl, I talk things out in my head. I already go through conversations before they happen. So that actually helps me to know what I want to talk about and what I want to address, because then I don't feel like I'm leaving things out. So you can do one of two things. You can talk to yourself. I know it sounds weird, but you can talk to yourself in the mirror, out loud, or you can write it down so that you have points to refer back to and you kind of have a thought process on how you want this conversation to go before you have to have it. Because sometimes I'm like, oh, I forgot to say this or I forgot to say that. So writing that down can help eliminate some of the things that you want to discuss and make sure that you have a good game plan of what you want to tackle in the session. Number two, do not underestimate the power of some tissues. So I like to have as you saw, a box of tissues with me on hand like this, like that. Because I'm always crying, my nose is always running, like it's very much emotional girl times. So I love to have my tissues nearby so that I know if I do cry, if I do have to blow my nose, I can just do so without having to disrupt the flow, whatever's going on, and just I know that I have them nearby, they just are more comforting for me. Something else I would recommend as well is a bottle of water, because sometimes you get choked up, sometimes you get thirsty, and even a snack beside you as well. Your therapist will understand if you need a snack, if you need to grab a drink of water, they will understand and they will be willing to. They probably won't even mention it, okay? So don't even think that that's going to be an issue, because it's not. And then some of my other favorite comfy cozy tools that I like to bring are a journal. You can see right here. I like to bring a journal or a pad, or even just have my notes out on my phone so that when they're telling me things, I can take notes so I can either refer back to them in the week or just help it to commit to memory, or just kind of keep a process log of how my therapy journey has been going. So I definitely just like to make sure that like the homework that they give me on like things to say to myself or things to practice, I'm able to just take that down and I'm able to refer to that back in the week, because I do not have the best memory. And then the other things I like to bring on handy is I have my pillows and my blankets, because they're comforting for me. I love to be in my sweats, my anxiety hoodie, my sweatpants. And then the last thing is just remember that these people are here to help you. They are invested in your emotional well-being to a point that they want you to improve, not to a point where they will judge you and have all of these harsh opinions. They are here to help you improve just like you are, and they are here to meet you where you're at. And don't be afraid to change therapists. Like, you're not gonna meet and mingle, you may not meet or mingle at the first sign of a therapist. Like, you might have to look around, which is why I think it's so good when you're first starting therapy that I recommend doing it virtually, because platforms like Betterhelp and Grow Therapy and all these kinds of things, Alma, help you to be able to kind of establish what it is, what therapy looks like with someone in the comfort of your own home. You're not in some stuffy office. You didn't have to drive to get there, and you're able to just get up and see how it feels, and then you're able to cancel them or change therapists like that without having that whole I don't know if this is working out conversation, all these kinds of things, and you'll never have to talk to them ever again. So don't be afraid to change therapists if you feel like it's not working for you. That is 100% okay. And even if, just remember that you may outgrow your therapist as well, which means that you will have to look for another therapist in the future. So don't be afraid to let go of a therapist that is not working for you. Alright, so those are my tips on how to prepare for your first therapy session. I will link, none of this is sponsored, so no one's paying me to say this stuff, but I will link the platforms that I use to find virtual therapists, the ones that take insurance as well down there, with the therapy platforms that I used, so you guys can check them out and hopefully you can find a therapist that works for you. Otherwise, don't forget to love yourself first and take deep breaths, because taking one step at a time is all you need to focus on, is taking the next right step. You got this, babe. All right, good luck. I'll see you guys in the next vid. Bye.